8th of January 2024. This is another loose cannon, and this one is loaded with cluster ammunition. It is clear that there's pandemonium in the political system in South Africa. And yes, it can sound like I'm dramatizing the thing, but look at the facts. And as we talk about facts, let me just put something on the table. I've now seen that some commentators have made remarks about the fact that I reported on the X39 LifeWave patches, and so the one reckoned she did not come to this channel for marketing shit. She's here for the facts. And I look at it and I thought to myself, okay, the mission of this channel is to bring you facts. Facts that MSM doesn't report, or rarely reports. And when I decided to talk about the X39s, I did it based on my own personal experience, and I had some interviews with reliable people that first-hand experienced the effects of the patches. So please, don't mix it and see it as a marketing thing. It is information, because there's a lot of people that are interested in it, and there's a lot of people that are struggling with health issues for which the conventional medicine is not really doing what it's supposed to do. So, don't see it as I'm throwing marketing shit in among my other articles. It is facts that you should be aware of and take note of. And if you're not interested in it, just scroll past it. Alright, let's come back to the political fuck-up in South Africa. The creation of the MK party, as far as I'm concerned, was a clever move by Jacob Zuma to give an option to those disgruntled ANC voters, first of all. Second of all, it seems to me that Zuma is in a way focused on Natal. And then someone made some comments, and I just laughed when I read it. The guy wants to deny the fact that Zuma is a tribalist. Now, my advice to him is go and read more. Zuma was the only president that South Africa had since 1994 that actually acknowledged the reality of tribes. And in a discussion with a friend of mine, which I will not name, Zuma has said to him, he understands that there are land in South Africa that belongs to the Boere. He understands that. And he does not dispute it, because his royal house has signed those agreements. So, let's just leave it there. I have said it many times, that the future lies in tribes, not in this cosmopolitan political tribe that has been created. People that are absolutely disconnected to their culture, to their history, to their ancestry, everything. They're not going to make it. Triple X has made it's absolutely no secret. They want to take a hell of a lot of people off the map. A hell of a lot. And if you look at Kalergi, published in 1924 already, one of their main missions is to get rid of white people. They want to get rid of white people. I can't understand it, because that fucking Triple X is supposed to be white as well. But they have segregated themselves into a superior sector of the white population, in which they are totally above everything. Now, if you look at the information that is coming out around the whole, I can only call it satanic planning of the plague, you have to ask yourself, how is it possible that in 2024, ordinary decent people sit and they listen to this cock, but they do nothing about it? They just share it and share it and share it. That means fuck all. The fact of the matter is, they made a decision long ago that whites must go. Long ago. In 1898, on the 16th of June, the Khazarians issued instruction that the Boer children must be killed. These people are without conscience, and you have to accept that. The problem that we're sitting with in South Africa is that there's a large part of the population that are not educated and informed enough to understand the consequences of what they vote for. And this fucking evil ANC cabal is capitalizing on that. They're capitalizing on that level of uninformedness. And that is why I say that the clever blacks has got a major role to play in there, and they must be held responsible. They must be held responsible for the fact that these ANC cretins, political cretins, is getting away with what they are getting away with. Now we see posts and tweets and things that Cyril is apparently very sick. Fuck. They're dancing around that thing. If you look back at my channel, you will see that a few episodes back, in the last part of December, I did a Skidmark in which I explicitly said, you must wait for January, because on the 31st of December, Cyril's chairmanship of BRICS expires and Putin will take over. And it is my opinion, yes, my opinion, that Putin was not going to do anything drastic in BRICS while Cyril was in charge. Because point number one, he doesn't want that embarrassment. So he just waited. And now the time is over. And interestingly enough, first fuck up after 1st of January, the story about Cyril is now in some medical distress. I don't know what it is. The problem with Cyril, the real problem with Cyril, is he's been riding the fucking fence between BRICS and the West. And I said it in my Skidmarks, he's going to ride that fence and end up with a dropper in his arsehole. And I think this is what has now happened. Now, Zuma, there can be no doubt about where his loyalties is. And his loyalties are definitely not with XXX. It's with the BRICS bloc. That is a, and the same with Mashatele. So the West has got a fucking problem in South Africa. They're going to lose their grip on this country. And they're going to lose it very fast. Cyril was clinging onto that, whereas the majority of the people don't want that. The majority wants to be associated with BRICS, not with the West. And between Cyril and that maniac down in the Cape, that little Hitler, that is forever beating the drums of AGOA, they don't tell you everything about AGOA. The first thing that they don't do is they don't tell you that on the backside of AGOA, it allows the Americans to dump their cheap shit here and destroy our local industries. They don't tell you that. But it's the same for the organized agricultural unions. They also don't tell you that. But I have spoken about the danger of the mega farms for South African citizens. I have spoken about it. And that's all I can do. I can speak about these things. If the people do not understand that the only chance of survival into the future lies in the tribes. And I say again, if I say tribe, don't see a fucking guy with a bone through his nose. That's not what it is. Tribes mean the people take control of their own land. Be it a section in the Northern Transvaal or a section in the Eastern Cape or a section in the Northern Cape or the Western Cape or fucking anywhere. The old homelands. I have information that in Botswana, there's a hell of a lot of the traditional Tswanas that are more upset about the fact that their country has been fucked up by the ANC. And the same in Zululand. So the people need to understand that there is undercurrents in the political environment. It is my opinion, and I have said it, that this central government is going to collapse because they cannot fix the broken system. They cannot. It's beyond repair for them. You're looking at 30, 40 years to repair that fucking unilateral government service. They cannot do it. First of all, they don't have the skills. Secondly, they don't have the manpower. Whereas the smaller countries that will be after the fucking collapse of this republic, say, for instance, a Laboa, maybe 3 million people there. How long will it take them if they bring their clever blacks in? And they are not fucking stupid with BEE and affirmative action. And they bring whoever, because there are white people that are living in those areas. Use what you've got in your area to get the best result for your area. That's what it's about. And to supply, say, medical services to the 3 million people, it's just going to take 2 or 3 clever medical guys with good administrative understanding to fix the fuck up for that 3 million. And the same will happen in other portions, here for 5 million, there for 3 million, there for 2 million, there for 10 million, things like that. All these little pieces will fix their own shit very quickly, because they know that they cannot survive with that broken shit. And before you know, the things are there. I'm planning another discussion with Hugo Creer about electricity, because I am a fervent supporter of the decentralization of electricity generation. But me and him will discuss that. The fact of the matter is, you must look around you and see the political chaos. The ANC is breaking apart like hell into splinters and sections. And all of that will just result in a greater political fucking fiasco than what we currently have. Because you and I know that this coalition cock is not going to fly. It will not fly. Gayton McKenzie has clearly indicated how easy it is for a small party like his to fuck a coalition up. He has showed it. So those are things that must make you think. And those are the things why I say, focus on a future on tribal lines. I had a discussion last night with guys, clever guys, and they say that between the Zulus and the Tswanas and the Boere, there's a large portion of South Africa that can be rapidly rebuilt into a force, because the people has got the same vision. But the political animals that is running around stirring the cuck, those are the things that must be contained, and they must be caged as quick as possible. We have the situation now with that protest that is planned for the 2nd of February to the Freedom Front Plus offices in Centurion. And it has now been labeled as the Battle of Centurion. But from other information that I got overnight and so, it seems to me that there is panic in the Freedom Front Plus management structure. You know, that elite class that has created a lekker fucking nest for themselves in the Freedom Front and bullshitting all the fucking voters all the way. I listened to one of the Millers making a voice clip of one of the Millers, and the fucking excuses that he has for all the cock that they have created is mind-blowing. And I listened to it and I thought to myself, these people, they are so fucking committed to retaining their position of nobility. They are the rulers. And they like a big fat and happy and getting big fat fucking salaries from the fiscus. And they don't give a shit for us, the ordinary people. We have to keep that in mind, because that is the realities on the ground. I am working with a group of guys that can be classified as clever blacks, and I have a planned discussion for tonight, before in the next day or two, where my concerned Zulu is going to give me and us the perspective from his point of view. And it is important that we look at that. And I'm going to throw a fucking hand grenade into the discussion now and just say, just imagine on the 2nd of February, those people that rock up to the Freedom Front offices, if in that crowd there's also a grouping of concerned black people. Imagine that. Look at the optics. Just look at the optics. What is the main aim of the Battle of Centurion? What is the main aim? In my mind, and that is how I started it and promoted it, in my mind, it is time that the voters tell the fucking guys sitting in the seats, you are there to represent us. You are not fucking there to rule us. And if you do not represent us properly, you must fuck off. That is so desperately needed right across the Western world. Because these fucking politicians, they view themselves as above the law. That is what it is. Listen to this stupid cock that Vakile spews. Look at the shit that Malema is talking, and he's fucking all over the place. Then he's here, then he's that side, then he's outside. Everywhere, he's all over the place. But the base is, he's not a patriot. And for these guys, these black guys, that are persisting with their fucking story that I'm a settler, I've got fucking news for you. My ancestors came from Europe. Your ancestors came from Central and Western Africa. So you want to tell me to fuck off back to Europe? I'm telling you to fuck off back to Central Africa and Western Africa. If I don't have a right in South Africa, you also don't have a fucking right here. Your black skin doesn't give you special fucking rights. It doesn't. But what you have achieved with your fucking black skin since 1994 is you properly fucked this country up. Properly. The difference between your ancestors and my ancestors is my ancestors fought for this fucking country. Our blood was spilled for this country. Our children and women's graves are there to show what they did for this fucking country. Where is your contribution? Fucking nowhere. So fuck off with your racism. Fuck off with your settler cuck. Fuck off. That's what I've got for you. Fuck off. Fact of the matter is, you cannot claim I'm a settler and you're not. You're the same fucking thing. The difference is, yes, we are settlers. We settled and we developed the country. What have you done? You came into the country, you settled and you developed fuck all. You're just destroying. It's all over the show. The evidence are there. The moment you got power in your hands, you started fucking destroying. So railways gone, roads fucking gone, Eskom gone, Escor gone, Krijgkort gone, Denel fucking gone, post office gone, medical system fucking gone. Everything is fucking gone. That is what your black skin achieved. So stop that cuck that I'm a settler. Yes, if I must accept that I'm a settler, I must accept that you're a fucking terrorist. Because all you came to do in this country is to fuck things up. Show me the shit that you've built. Show me that. But let me get off that fucking story. Fact of the matter is, turbulence and turmoil, pandemonium in the political system. Keep your eyes fucking open. Look carefully. And my opinion now, as I'm sitting here all overheated about the Battle of Centurion, I think what we must get into our minds, first of all, it's important that a lot of people pitch up for the battle. Just so that the world can take note that we're not happy with the cock that is going on. Secondly, it's going to be a Murva fight to get that Vaseline gang out. Because that, you can see it already. They're putting in anchors like fucking crazy to protect their positions. Then we have to go the easy way. The easy way. Let's make a decision, select a political party, and we all fucking vote for that party and fuck the Freedom Front. The beauty is if they get no votes, all of those fucking Vaseline gangsters are out of the benches and they're gone. That's how easy it is. With one cross, you can cancel them. That is the reality. And that is my message for today. Think about these things. See the Battle of Centurion for what it is. An opportunity to show the world that we, the voters, are no longer going to sit back and just fucking accept the abuse from that bliksemse self-appointed leaders and rulers. We're not going to take it anymore. That is the first thing. The second thing is, understand that this is a national thing. It is not a specific grouping thing, because we've got a problem right through the West in the political systems. So, let's muster an attendance for the Battle of Centurion. Pitch up and tell them we've had enough. Please give me a like and subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.